Welcome back, children. Yes, shall we continue the class? Yes. So what is that? The outer covering is called as cocoon. So which is present inside the caterpillar, which is present inside the cocoon. Now it has been transferred to the next stage called pupa. Okay. See what is this? Cocoon. See here. So this caterpillar, it's spinning a web. See here. This caterpillar, it starts to spin the web and it becomes pupa. So this outer covering is called cocoon, and which is present inside the cocoon is called as pupa. Okay. So afterwards what happens? That in the cocoon stage only we are able to get the fibers. So the cocoon are taken out and then they are put in hot water or boiled, and then the fibers are separated out. So the most common silk moth is mulberry silk moth. I said you right. The most common one is mulberry silk moth. See, by seeing this picture, you will be clear how this is formed. So what is that? See, this is mulberry leaves. So what is this? Eggs. So what happened? This caterpillar start eating these leaves. So it has grown into a full size. Afterwards, what happened? It started to it went to the cocoon stage. See here again, egg. What egg? The caterpillar comes out. It starts to eat these leaves. What is that? Mulberry leaves. It grown into a full stage size. So what is that size? So compared to the small, the last final, it is 4 times bigger. It grows 4 times bigger than the first stage. So after that, it start to spin fiber. See here. So again what happens? It comes out as silk moth, and the cocoon which is there is taken for producing silk fibers. Yes, by seeing this picture, now you are able to get a clear idea about this life cycle process. Yes, so it again lays eggs and then it again start eating, grows, start to spin the fibers again. Afterwards, what happens? The silk moth comes out, that is the silkworms come out, and then what happened? That is taken for the production of silk fibers. Shall we go to the next one? Okay, see a life cycle of silkworm. So that picture is again demonstrated here. So this female silk lays eggs. What comes out? Caterpillar. So this caterpillar grows 4 times than the first stage. See here, 1, 2. Compared to the first stage, it is 1, 2, 3, 4 times bigger. Yes. So what is this stage called as larva stage? What is the first stage? Egg. And then larva stage. After that what happens? It starts to spin the fibers. So the caterpillar spins a cocoon of silk and threads it around, covers it itself. And then what is present inside it? Pupa. What is that outer covering called as? Cocoon. So what happens? The people, they take out these cocoons, and then what happens again? This pupa comes out as a young moth, and it grows into an adult one. After it again starts to lay eggs. So this cycle is it is a cyclic process. It keeps on going one by one. Is how does the cycle wheel rotate? Likewise, this process also goes on. Okay. So next stage is that how we are going to get that silk from cocoon to silk. How we are converting that cocoon into silk. Yes. So for obtaining silk moth, what happens? Silks are reared. For obtaining silk, what is reared? Silk moths are reared, and their cocoons are get collected. What I said, from the cocoon stage only we are able to get that silk threads. So their cocoons are collected to get silk thread. So tell me one thing, how many cocoons are needed to make one sari? How many cocoons are required to make one sari? I said you this in last class. What is that? Yes, think and tell me. Very good. 1700 to 2000 cocoons are needed to make one sari. How many? 1700 to 2000 cocoons are needed to make one sari. So what happens? Now we are able to get the cocoon. From the cocoon, what we are going to get? We are going to get silk. See here, getting silk from the cocoons. So what are the process involved in it? Okay. So before that, what we need? We need silkworm. So rearing of silkworm. So a female silk moth lays hundreds of eggs at a time. So the eggs are stored. Rearing means how this process is done by the farmers, by the rearers who take care of it. Okay. So these eggs are stored on strips or cloth of paper and they give it to the silkworm farmers. They sell these eggs to the silkworm farmers. So these silkworm farmers, what do they see here? It lays hundreds of eggs at a time. So these eggs are taken and then given to silkworm farmers. So what do they do? These farmers provide them with suitable temperature for the larvae to come out. That is the eggs to hatch. And then what happens? So they give them mulberry leaves to it. It is the favorite food for them. Yes or no? So after the larva comes out, they chop the mulberry leaves and then keep it in a fresh basket. See here, you are able to see a mulberry tree and then the structure of mulberry leaf. So after that, what happened? They keep these scattered, that is the young larvae and the mulberry leaves in one basket. What do? They start to eat. The eating process continues for 25 to 30 days. How many days? 25 to 30 days. These larvae keeps on eating and becomes a caterpillar. See, you are able to see, right? So they are eating the mulberry leaves. And then after the 25 to 30 days, what happened? They stop eating and then move to a tiny chamber of bamboo. So after all these are completed, so these caterpillars are moved to a bamboo tray where they would spin cocoons, where they would start the process of spinning cocoons. So these caterpillars spin cocoons around them. And what is present inside the cocoon? Very good, pupa. So what happens? These cocoons get attached to the trays, which is that wooden tray is there, right? So these cocoons get attached to the trays. So the farmers, what would they do? They would take the cocoons alone out, and these young ones, that is the pupa, goes into an adult one, and again it starts to lay eggs. So how do we get? So we take more amount of cocoons for obtaining silk fiber. So these cocoons are kept under hot sun or they are boiled. Otherwise, they are exposed to steam. What do you mean by steam? Yes. While the water vapor comes, while the water boils. So a steam is produced, that the vapors, the hot water vapors are called as steam. So we collect the cocoons from that stage. So these cocoons are kept under hot sun, otherwise they are boiled. See here. So these cocoons are boiled in hot water and we are able to get the silk fibers from them. So the process of taking out threads from cocoon. What is that? The process of taking out threads from the cocoon for use as silk is called as reeling of silk. We have seen here two terms. What is that? Sericulture. Rearing of silkworm is called sericulture. What do you mean by reeling of silk? The process of taking out threads from the cocoon. What is that? The process of taking out threads from cocoon is called as reeling of silk. But rearing of silkworm is called sericulture. Don't get confused. Rearing of silkworm is called as sericulture. The process of taking out threads from the cocoon is called reeling of silk. See here, after it is boiled, what happens? We are able to get the silk. And then, so now we have got that silk. Afterwards, what happened? They would be giving colors to them and then spinning this into yarn, and then the fabrics are produced. So it is, we have seen how to produce the fibers from the sheep, that is getting wool from sheep and then getting silk from the silk moth. Two process we have seen. That is for animal sources. And in the 6th standard, you will have already studied how to get cotton from cotton plant and then jute from jute plant. Yes, I'll tell you shortly, just listen. In getting the cotton, after the cotton grows, it bursts out, right? So they take that cotton by hand picking method. Afterwards, they remove that seeds which are present inside that cotton. Now they get only fresh cotton. So these cotton are twisted to get yarn. Afterwards, coloring is given and then they are spun into yarn and then cloths are made. Jute is also same thing. After cultivating the jute plants, these jute plants are kept immersed under water for a few days. Afterwards, what happened? The stems get rotten and then so they take these plants out and then separate the fiber from the stem. They separate the jute fibers from the jute stem and then other process are same. They make it dry under hot sun and then spun it into yarn and then finally it is converted into cloths. So what is the disease caused by them? So the workers employed in almost all the process of sericulture industry are adversely affected by number of diseases. The one important disease is Sorter's disease or anthrax disease. So this anthrax disease is caused from the animals to human beings. So this anthrax is a kind of bacteria which affects the animals. So the people who touch those animals and takes their fleece out get affected to that animal. So this disease is transmitted from animals to human beings. So what are the symptoms of this disease? It may cause skin cancer. It causes skin cancer, allergies, etc. Now we are going to see the mind map. So what are all the important things in this lesson? What is the chapter? Fiber to fabric. What is the thing we had seen about fiber, fabric and then yarn? What is mean by fiber? Thin thread like structure. Fabrics. Yes, fabric means we get fabrics from yarn. We get yarn from fiber. Clear? And then we had seen wool and processing of wool. Yes or no? Before that we had seen types of fibers, plant fibers, animal fibers, everything. So what is the important thing? Wool and then processing of wool. And then silk and life cycle of silkworm. Yes or no? We had seen about the life cycle of silkworm. Finally, what we had concluded, so what are all the diseases which are caused due to this sericulture industries? Yes. Now the next thing is, what are all the key points in this lesson which we have to keep in mind? So silk comes from silkworm and then wool is obtained from sheep of goat and yak. Hence silk and wool are called as animal fibers. So some of the other wool yielding animals are camel, alpaca and then llama. So what is the sheep rearing process? Sheep are reared, the wools, that is the fleece is removed from their body. Afterwards washing process, that is cowring, and then they are sorted. Yes or no? And then burst separation. Afterwards dyeing, spinning. And next what we had seen about life cycle of silkworm. What is the first stage? Egg stage. And then the caterpillar, that is the larva comes out. Afterwards it grows into a caterpillar. Yes. And then these caterpillars, after the eating process is completed, they start to spin the fibers around their body. And then what is that stage called as pupa stage? Yes. After that, what is present inside that? What is present inside that cocoon? Pupa is present inside that cocoon. We are able to get the cocoon from the pupa stage. So we take that and start to produce silk fibers. Afterwards, silk fibers are made up of protein. So the waste saliva which is ejected from the silkworms are rich in protein content. And then the weavers weave silk threads into silk cloth. So these are all the important key points in this lesson which you have to keep in our mind. And then, so children, I thank you all for listening the class patiently, and then prepare well for your exams. Do it well. So the chapters are chapter 1 and 2, All the best.